The book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 45. Moreover, when ye shall divide by lot the land for inheritance, ye shall offer an oblation unto the Lord, an holy portion of the land. The length shall be the length of 25,000 reeds, and the breadth shall be 10,000. This shall be holy in all the borders thereof round about. Of this there shall be for the sanctuary 500 in length with 500 in breadth, square round about, and 50 cubits round about for the suburbs thereof. And of this measure shalt thou measure the length of 25,000, and the breadth of 10,000, and it shall be in the sanctuary and the most holy place. The holy portion of the land shall be for the priests, the ministers of the sanctuary, which shall come near to minister unto the Lord, and it shall be a place for their houses, and an holy place for the sanctuary. And the 25,000 of length and the 10,000 of breadth shall also the Levites, the ministers of the house, have for themselves for a possession for 20 chambers. And you shall appoint the possession of the city 5,000 broad and 20,000 long, over against the oblation of the holy portion. It shall be for the whole house of Israel. And a portion shall be for the prince on the one side, and on the other side of the oblation of the holy portion, and of the possession of the city, before the oblation of the holy portion, and before the possession of the city from the west side westward, and from the east side eastward, and the length shall be over against one of the portions, from the west border unto the east border. And the land shall be his possession in Israel, and my princes shall no more oppress my people. And the rest of the land shall they give to the house of Israel according to their tribes. Thus saith the Lord God, let it suffice you, O princes of Israel. Remove violence and spoil, and execute judgment and justice. Take away your exactions from my people, saith the Lord God. Ye shall have just balances, and a just ephah, and a just bath. You gotta find out what that means. Just balances, we know what that means in a just ephah, E-P-H-A-H, and a just bath. I'll look those up. The ephah and the bath shall be of one measure, that the bath may contain the 10th part of an homer, and the ephah the 10th part of an homer. The measure thereof shall be after the homer. So, I guess it's another measuring type than the cubit, a homer. And the shekels shall be 20 gerahs, 20 shekels. 25 shekels, 15 shekels shall be your meneh, M-A-N-E each. Okay, this is kind of important because we know that, well, we start off in the shekels, I think, with Abraham buying the land to bury for graveland, right? Remember that guy was smart trying to sneak on him? But he was extremely, extremely, extremely smart, because he actually placed a grave there that day. He bought that day, and it's never moved since that day. And the guy, it was like 6 or 7 times, the guy's like, oh, no, let me give this to you. He's like, no. He's like, let me give it to you at least half off. No. Let me give it to you just, you know, this much off. No. And then finally the guy's like, all right, well, full prices, you know, 5 million, you know, whatever, how much. And he said, and he paid it right then and there. Money's important. You know, it's like the rich create money, right? But what are the uses in the Bible, right? There are uses. And this was the first big use of money that I remember, is buying Abraham's grave without a dollar off, without a penny off. And it's still there till today, the caves of Machpelah. He's buried there. His wife is buried there. Isaac is buried there. Jacob is buried there. And that took money. And then, of course, we know that Jesus got pointed out by Judas for 20 shekels. And we've heard many times up till now, not many, but like 10 maybe, at least, prices of things for shekels. Maybe you will get more in the New Testament, but this is important because in order to do some of God's will, you have to have money. That's the end of it. I don't care what anybody says. Look, and the shekel shall be 20 gerahs. 20 shekels 5, and 20 shekels 15 shekels shall be your maneh. I don't know what that is either. M-A-N-E-H. This is the oblation that ye shall offer, the 6th part of an ephah of an omer of wheat. And ye shall give the 6th part of an ephah of an homer of barley. Concerning the ordinance of oil, the bath of oil, ye shall offer the 10th part of a bath out of the core, which is an homer of 10 baths, for 10 baths are an homer. Oh, I think it's oil. And 1 lamb out of the flock, 1 out of 200, out of the fat pastures of Israel, for a meat offering, and for a burnt offering, and for peace offerings, to make reconciliation for them, saith the Lord God. All the people of the land shall give this oblation for the prince in Israel. And it shall be the prince's part to give burnt offerings, and meat offerings, and drink offerings in the feasts, and in the new moons, and in the Sabbaths. In all solemnities of the house of Israel he shall prepare the sin offering, and the meat offering, and the burnt offering, and the peace offerings, to make reconciliation for the house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord God, in the 1st month, in the 1st day of the month, thou shalt take a young bullock without blemish, and cleanse the sanctuary. Is that Rosh Hashanah, the 1st day of the new year? Here, let me look it up. Where's my paper? No. First day. Nissan. Okay, I can't even do this right now because there's just too much problems. I just did this. I don't even know when it is. April. No, that was Passover. January, no. February, no. And where's Nissan? Just forget it. I have no idea. But I'm going to have to figure this out because this whole chapter, this whole Ezekiel, as abstract as it is, they do give specific dates over and over and over and over and over. One of the very most specific dates is the first day of the first month. And it escapes me what that is. Is it a Rosh Hashanah? I don't know. That's not what's important right now. And the priest, it is important, though, for our day, because we need to kind of know these days. That's why I have this calendar right here. It's already kind of messed up. And it doesn't say, like, in big words. They, like, expect you to, like, already be a Jew. No. Here, I think this is it, April. I think Nissan, I think this is it. Right here. Because it's Nissan, right? And then it was April 9th. See, because that one's Adar. Rosh Chodesh, Nissan. Yeah, first day of the year. So that's important to God, because he keeps bringing it up. And we don't follow that calendar, so we may want, I want to know. Because, and the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering and put it upon the posts of the house. This is like a Passover thing, right? But it's not. It's the lintel of the house during Passover. This is the posts of the house. And upon the four corners of the settle of the altar, and upon the posts of the gate of the inner court. And so thou shalt do the 7th day of the month for every one that erreth. Oh. I guess they do it every month. And then the 7th day would be like our, so if the first day is the 9th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that would be the 15th. That would be the 7th day of the month. April. And then every day on the 15th. I don't know if I'm reading this right, but... And thou shalt do the 7th day of the month for every one that erreth, and for him that is simple, so shall ye reconcile the house. So according to our new calendar, it would be about on the 15th of the month, but those days are not all 28 and 30 days, so that will be off. You can't compare them like that. But you're supposed to, but the point is here, you're supposed to be doing this every month. They're doing this every month, right? Taking all these offerings. Okay, look. In the first month, in the 14th day of the month, right, which is not our 14th day, ye shall have the Passover, a feast of 7 days, unleavened bread shall be eaten. Right. So that still worked out, right? Because here's our April. Here's our, it's Adar Nisan. It starts on the 9th, Nisan, right? Because there's Adar. And then you go to Nisan. And then we had, then 14 days from Nisan, right? Will be, that's the first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that does add up properly, right? And this was Passover Eve. That's when I started doing it. So I am understanding it a little bit, but I don't. You know, not just by looking at it. I have to count and do this. Who knows? I'm trying. And upon that day shall the prince prepare for himself and for all the people of the land a bullock for a sin offering. And 7 days of the feast he shall prepare a burnt offering to the Lord, 7 bullocks and 7 rams without blemish daily the 7 days, and a kid of the goats daily for a sin offering. And he shall prepare a meat offering of an ephah for a bullock, and an ephah for a ram, and an hin of oil for an ephah. I don't know what that means. In the 7th month, in the 15th day of the month, shall he do the like in the feast of the 7 days. Is that supposed to be, you know, I cannot believe that we sit here and we let September means 7, but it's the 9th month. How in the world do we let these Masons construct our reality like this? It is horrifying to me. Because look what it says, in the 7th month, in the 15th day of the month. Are they talking about, I think they're supposed to be talking about Sukkot. Because that is supposed to be like near September, October. But you see, because I think the reason our time has been manipulated so, because it only it's there for Satan. I remember when I don't remember how old, but all of a sudden my parents I got sent home from school and they found out that I did not know how to tell time. And it was like the biggest federal case. And you know what? I still do not appreciate having to tell time on this fake. It's fake. It's a construction of the devil. The way we do things. How can you have the 7th month? How can it be Sept? How can it be the 9th month? Who does that? Some absolute satanic fool. It is so evil. Because look, you can't even tell what they're talking about. You have to pull the calendar out and you're like, what is this? I have to study that because I don't even know. It's wrong because this is all based on the seasons. Why do you think they have all that? All of those earthworks that they all show equinoxes, times of the year, times when you're supposed to plant, times when you're supposed to sow, all of that stuff. And some, who did this? Like the Romans, they just came along and they're like, oh, okay, we're going to name the first month that, you know, God's month, Nisan, that we're talking about right now, right? The first month of the year that has Rosh Chodesh, that has Passover. We're going to call that Janus. We're going to call that after the double-headed, or whatever that Janus means. It's not good. It's no good. We're naming it after a Nephilim god. And you're all going to be thrown off forever because of it. We're throwing you off your natural relationship with the Lord. I really don't like it at all. I really don't. And I naturally didn't know. My dad had to sit there with the little clock and teach me how to tell. And it was just painful. It was really painful. I mean, I'm not stupid. I don't like it, and it's wrong, and I have a good reason not to like it, and I still don't. It's not funny to me that somebody manipulated the time. It's wrong. They do it because you cannot follow the feasts at all with that nonsense until what? Until 1602 when they started making calendars, and, you know, I just don't get it. It's hateful, and it's satanic. In the 7th month, in the 15th day of the month, shall he do the like. Like, we should be able to know exactly what they're talking about. The first second we read that, the whole world should go, oh yeah, they're talking about Sukkot. No, we don't know now. Because why? Because they switched the whole count. And you know why they did that? Because of this. I have no doubt about it. This is why. Every time you're going to look at something like this, you should know immediately, right? In the 7th month and the 15th day of the month, right? You should be like, oh, boom, that's our September, which means 9th month. But yeah, that's our, Roman September, the 7th month. Shall he, in the 15th day of the month, shall he do the like in the feast of the 7 days? Because I don't know what other feast there is. It has to be Tabernacles, right? It has to be Sukkot, right? What else can it be? But this is infuriating that you can't. This is why they changed the entire calendar. So Satan did it. And all his cohorts, his demonized people. Because, so you can't just look at this and within 2 seconds know exactly what they're talking about. And that's why, think about it, there is no other reason. It's not because, oh, we're having to figure out, we're doing it for our own. The only purpose they're doing it for is to be away from God. That is the only purpose. Think about it. In the 7th month and the 15th day of the month shall he do the like in the feast of the 7 days, according to the sin offering, according to the burnt offering, and according to the meat offering, and according to the oil. So, yeah, do you see how he has to explain? This has to all be explained again because nobody knows anymore, right? And you know what? Imagine how we don't know anymore. Right? Look, it's how to be written down for the people already because they just forgot because there's probably Babylonian. Well, no, they had Babylonian calendar. They could follow it. They still had the same calendar when this is being written. Right? But the Lord, it's like the Lord knew that there's just issues. So even though the calendar is the same, all of the dates are forgotten. These important holy days, these high holy days are forgotten. But you know what? Not only the Lord reminded him, and that did continue, but you know what? It's not enough for Satan, right? And he disrupted the whole thing again, took out this Babylonian calendar, took out this Jew Babylonian calendar. Boom! Here's your Roman calendar where the 7th month, is called September. Oh no, we're going to make that the 9th month. It has absolutely no rhyme or reason. It is disturbing as F. And it's because they're trying to pull people away from God. Think about it. There is no other reason. It's not because they just wanted to name things after themselves. That's not it. It is so vile. How do you call the 7th month Sept, 7? They may, we'll just make it the 9th month. People will just think they're just not going to pay attention that much. Yeah, we do though, so. But the whole purpose of that was, again, to disrupt God's holy days. Think about it. Why? You don't need a new calendar. Nobody needs a new calendar. But yeah. So this is our talk about Rosh Chodesh, I believe. I'm not sure. And Passover, for sure. And we have forgotten what the word ephah means. I don't have any idea. I've never heard of it. And maneh, M-A-N-E-H. And these are, in the terms of our measurements and stuff like that. And we don't have those words because they surely wiped those out of our language. Or even the thought of what it means. I don't know. It might not be a big deal. But what is a big deal is the time. It is very disturbing. Think about it. Think about why someone comes along and does that. It's really satanic. You can say it's for a world power. It's for a Roman world power. But that's not the whole story. You don't need to do that. And if they're so smart anyway. Okay, I don't even want to talk about it. But this is horrifying. It's like, think of some great mathematician. So are they going to start this whole thing where they're going to start calling, okay, it's not a 7 anymore, it's a 9. Okay, I'm just going to do it like that. No, you don't do that. I haven't even talked about all the days of the week and the months, what they're named after. I'm just talking about the sloppiness. Why would you name September for the 9th month? How sloppy and dirty and stupid. At that point, when you run out of names or however that occurred, you just need to throw the whole thing away and go back to the correct calendar. I mean, I'm so old now. It took me my whole life, right? No way. I never liked telling time, and now I know why. Because it's wrong. It's a complete scam. It's made to control people. That's it. It's not so you can go to work on it. It's not so things will run. Look, you can have that for your train system and all that. You don't need to tell me that I need to follow your... I'm surprised that they even left the hour to be 60. The way they act, or the way this has occurred, Satan has a... It's amazing they don't put 340 minutes in an hour and have, make it 1,600 hours in a day. Why didn't they just pull that shit? Because basically that's how I feel about already how it is. They may as well do that, add that in there. It's so off. It's evil if you think about it. If 7 means 7, why is it the 9th month? Think about it. Why? Why do we go along with that? It is so bad.